Okay, now for Google Books. Alright, Google Books is a huge collection of books online. That Google has a couple different projects going on. They have a partnering program with several large libraries in the United States where they are trying to make digital copies of a lot of books that are out of print, or out of publication, and also trying to find a lot of resources. I mean, a lot of books in general. This whole project is somewhat controversial, but we're not going to go into that here. It's just good for you to know that that this is could be a very valuable place for you to look for for book searches, for an alternative to just the regular Google search. One of the great things about Google Books is that it also gives you options for buying the book, and then better yet, for borrowing the book from a local public library. Okay, so for my first search, I looked for books about podcasting. Notice that all these books offer only a limited preview. However, this is usually enough to tell if the book is going to be interesting or informative. Sometimes you can also search within a limited preview book to get a better idea of the contents. You may need to log into Google in order to view all the available content. If you don't have a Google account, you can create one by clicking on the sign in link in the upper right hand corner of the window. Here's a snapshot of how Google displays a limited view book. Notice the image of a page from the book on the left and the links to the table of contents, title page, index, and copyright on the right. Notice that you can search for additional terms within the book. I asked to search for MP3 and Google gave me hits for that term on several pages. There are also links to buy this book on several online stores and, like I said, a feature to find it in your local public library. Google Scholar. From Google's homepage, click on the More link and then the Even More link. On the More Google Products page, scroll down until you find the link for Google Scholar, and then click on that. Google Scholar is a fairly new Google service, although it has been around for at least the last couple of years. Notice that the Google logo on the left of the search box has the terms Scholar and Beta under it. A beta product is one that works well enough to be released by users, but is still under development. Beta product users expect that there will be bugs, changes, and frequent upgrades, and learn to expect the unexpected. In other words, Google Scholar is constantly changing, and we're not sure at this point, how it's going to evolve over the next few years. But it's an exciting source for more advanced searches. So what is Google Scholar? I'll just read a little bit here. Google Scholar provides a simple way to broadly search for scholarly literature. From one place you can search across many disciplines and sources: articles, theses, books, abstracts, and court opinions. From academic publishers, professional societies, online repositories, universities, and other websites. Google Scholar helps you find relevant work across the world of scholarly research. Like Google Books and like the archive search for Google News, you could also find, in many cases, find a number of the sources here available in the library's databases. And so if some of these sources are available for a fee, you may be able to find it in a database or through interlibrary loan for free for your patron. Okay, so here's an example of a Google Scholar search. A patron using the Ask Us Now live chat reference service asked me what a quantum magnetic disk was, and I was unable to find this in the database available to me, and a traditional Google search didn't pull up any information that easily defined this term. However, I was able to find a suitable link in Google Scholar. Although Google Scholar will rarely be the first place you look for the answer to a question, remember that it is there as yet another place to look for something highly technical or esoteric. The Google Directory. Unlike Google's internet search algorithms that have computer programs decide what you try to look for, Google's directory has been assembled by real people. The Google Web Directory starts with a collection of websites selected by Open Directory volunteers. Google then applies its patented PageRank technology to rank the sites based on their importance. You can search the directory by keyword or drill down through the subject headings. I'm going to demonstrate a drill down search starting with the heading Recreation. After clicking on Recreation, I'm presented with a list of topics that fall under that heading. My next choice is Trains and Railroads. Under this list, I'll choose Rail Fanning and Train Spotting. At this point, I'm presented with a list of websites that are listed in PageRank order. You'll never get as many hits from Google's directory as you will from its search engine, but a directory search can be useful when you are starting with a very broad topic and you're either not quite sure what you're looking for or aren't quite sure of the best search terms to use. Congratulations! You've completed Part 3 of this online Google training course. Practice some of the things you've learned before moving on to Part 4, Advanced Searching and Language Tools.